Hi, welcome to this week's episode of the White Coat Wednesday. I'm Madison Boudreaux, the Senior Social Officer, and I just want to recognize that we are in the middle of a pandemic still, but we are in a minimally occupied room and we are socially distanced, so we feel that we are safe to briefly remove our masks during the interview. So I have with me Michael Duggan. He is the Junior Outreach Officer for UMSA. And UMSA is the Ochsner Medical Student Association, so we may use that acronym at different points in this interview just so y'all are aware. Michael, do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Mike. I'm from just outside Boston, Massachusetts. I went to the University of Maryland where I majored in biology and then returned back to Boston to work on a few clinical research projects in pediatrics before heading out for 2 years and then headed out to Michigan to work as a scribe at a number of practices before heading to Australia to start medical school.
So, Michael, do you mind sharing with us what your previous experience in student organizations was?
Yeah, so this past year, myself, along with Anthony Reyes and Liam Long, started a branch of the Medicine in Motion, a nonprofit that focuses on mitigating physician burnout through physical exercise, community building, and philanthropy. We started this at UQ, and we were able to run a number of events throughout the year. We started with weekly Zoom workouts when COVID was pretty bad in Brisbane, and then we're lucky enough to transition to in-person events, teaming up with a local gym to organize a morning of HIIT workouts, and then also a promise run in which we had students gather together to run 4.34 kilometers to represent the 434 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders who had died in police custody in Australia since 1991. In total, we raised nearly $3,000 for Anala Wangara, which was a nonprofit in Brisbane that provided opportunities for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, recreational opportunities in the area. So yeah, overall that was the biggest thing I was a part of, and then also as part of the UQ Pediatrics Club, which had monthly journal meetings, and then also the UQ Club soccer team.
Gotcha. Well, sounds like you're really involved in Australia, and we're glad to have you over here. Do you mind speaking a little bit about your role as the Junior Outreach Officer within UMSA?
Definitely, yeah. So myself, along with Nadia, who is the Senior Outreach Officer, we basically are in charge of promoting events within the New Orleans area through our newsletter and on Facebook, and basically trying to get students involved as much as possible. Obviously, it's been a little bit challenging with COVID, but we're still hoping with vaccines being continued to roll out this spring that this summer we'll be able to have a bit more in-person events to kind of promote.
That's great. Can you also speak about the previous volunteer opportunities that did take place during the peak COVID-19 pandemic here at Ochsner last year?
Yeah, so Ochsner students were actually really involved with a few different efforts regarding COVID-19. They were part of a call center here at the academic building actually, where they kind of triaged patients who were showing symptoms of COVID. They also communicated with family members who had a family member diagnosed with COVID, and then also those with previous lab experience were in charge of running PCRs for positive or negative COVID diagnoses.
Gotcha. Sounds like there was a lot of opportunities for students to get involved in at that time. Do you mind speaking a little bit about what volunteer groups or projects you participate in now?
Yeah, so right now I participate in the Miracle League, which meets every Saturday over at Audubon Park, and basically it's about an hour of a few different sports, kickball, baseball, soccer, in which students and volunteers are partnered up with a buddy who is a school-age child with disabilities, and you kind of just walk them through the game and make sure they're having a good time, and usually that is the case, and yeah, it's just kind of a great thing to do on the weekends and make sure the kids are enjoying themselves.
That sounds like a great opportunity. In closing, would you mind just sharing with us what your favorite place in New Orleans is?
Yeah, I really enjoyed Audubon Park, not only because of the Miracle League, but just kind of a great way to exercise and get outdoors. And it's always pretty busy, and it's just a great way to kind of see other residents in the area. And yeah, kind of just a great place to go after the hospital and de-stress a little bit.
Yeah. I do like that park as well. Well, we just want to thank the audience for joining us for this week's episode of the White Coat Wednesday. Again, I'm Madison Boudreaux, the Senior Social Officer, and we want to give a special thanks to our guest, Michael Duggan, who's the Junior Outreach Officer for UMSA, and we'll see you guys next episode. Thank you.